Okay, we're back. So, there's a used one I got. This one I blasted before, so nice clean one. Fits in there good. Put that over there out of the way. Let's see what happens here. Ah! Don't hit the bolt against your hand right there. It hurts. See, I should have just used my hammer like I always do, see? Then I wouldn't be hurting my hand. Oh well. Think I'll remember next time? Nah. This hole's getting better up here. It pulls torque. It must have just been full of crap. Alright. See if there's any binding. Nope. Here. Ooh, look at that. I can slide it. That's a good sign. That means it's not bound up. So, the other one was binding up. You couldn't do that. So here's our number 4 cam over here. Moving back and forth. 3. 2 over here now. And number 1. And hose in the way now. See how they all move pretty freely now? And I said obviously this one in here. Right here we're at. Nice and free. Good sign. Okay, now I'm going to rotate the motor. I'm going to go 180, which is 1 turn around, roughly. And we're going to check the gear, make sure it's still sliding. I'll probably check it more in one spot. We'll just rotate it. Yep. Will loose there. We locked up right there. Yeah. Tight. Tight. It's loose again. I was feeling the slide area was dragging, but I'm not getting it now. Right there is our tight spot. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Definitely ain't moving it. It's like 4 turns around before it does it. See, it's nice and loose here. Right there it gets tight. It's loose again. Yeah, it's something. Right there. It's like at least 5 times around before you do it. Yeah, I can slide it, but it's tight. It's definitely in the front cylinder. These 2 gears are a little bit snug, but they do move. The idler gear, no way. So it's binding up, most likely the idler gear is what the problem is again. There's something in that one spot. It's right there. Something is causing it to bind up a little bit. Not sure what it is. Let's speed this up a little bit. It's weird, it's got the whole cam cover bound up. Probably why those 2 cam gears are tight. What else causing that? The cams rotate every 2 turns there in the same gear teeth. So it's not that because it goes like 5 turns. So this has to find a certain spot in this gear and this gear that don't like each other. I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it so I know where it is right now. Take it out, spin it 180, put it back in, put the cover back on, see if it still binds or not. See, the cam cover went right on, no problem. I had to force it off there a little bit before, so whatever was binding, it's not binding anymore. Now, all your gears are supposed to be concentric, but they're not always. That means that this shaft is in the center line of the gear teeth. But if these things get worn or they're not made right, then these things will go in an orbit like this. And if it gets too close on one side, you're bind up, and it's too over here, it's real loose. That loose doesn't really hurt you too much, tight does. That's why I always go on the loose side of everything instead of tight. Tight's going to break stuff. Loose, all you do is you hear it a little bit, if you even do that. Most of the time you won't even do that. So I put them all together before with all junk parts. Everything gets loose as a goose. It's way past loose, they're worn out. And that thing is one of the most quietest motors we've ever put together. It was super quiet. Couldn't believe it. Obviously I screwed up when I put it together because it was perfect. Didn't make any noise at all. Like I said, everything is about loose. Cam bushings are loose. Lifters are junk. Lifter blocks are junk. Cams are just loose as everything. No shimming. It just was quiet for whatever reason. Okay, let's see if it binds this time. Right there. Yeah, it's tight. And once you get past that spot, yeah, it just binds up right there. You just go that much past and it loosens up on you right there. It's loose. Right there it's tight. It gets loose again. That's not loose yet. Now it is. It's tight right there. Okay, so now we gotta take it apart, see if the mark is in the same spot. The mark should be on the far side, on the front side. You could just slam it together and run it and see what happens. Or we try to figure out the problem and fix it, which takes time and effort. Nobody cares if it takes me an extra 3 hours to do the job. Yeah, my time is free, I guess. If that's what separates me from everybody else, I want to do it right more than I want to make money. So the way it goes. Damn it. Screws are all off, aren't they? Should be. Obviously one wasn't. Okay, so the black mark, the mark's here instead of over here like it was before. And the red one's lined up again, so it's 180 from where it was. Where I put together, but it's back tight in the same spot. The difference is it moved from here to here, but it's in the same part of the gear. And this gear looks good too, just like the last one. Okay, so I'm going to put the cam cover on it without a gear on it one more time. And make sure I can turn that thing at least 10 times without binding. If it does, then I know it's the idler gear is the problem again. And go get another idler gear. Maybe we'll get one that works this time. So just because you change a part doesn't mean you change it out for a good one. Just like if you buy a new part and put it on doesn't mean it's any good either. Nobody said a new part was any good. We proved that with the rear motor mount. Nice and free. Okay. Okay, we'll get to at least 5 turns without binding. And 6. Okay, that's over 10 turns, no binding. Alright, so we know that it is definitely in the idler gear. And they didn't like that one as much as the other one. It has the same binding on both of those. So either the large gear on number 4 is the problem, or the idler gears are the problem. So I'm going to try one more idler gear. And then if that does the same thing again, then it's the number 4 cam is bad. Process of elimination. Then I'll have to try another number 4 cam and see if that does the trick. At some point we're going to find the problem. Or we're going to wear the motor out. I'm not sure which one's going to be first. But will it be tomorrow before we figure that out? It's a little after 10:30, so I got an hour and a half to go. Cam cover came off nice, I like that. Okay, so we'll go find another cam gear. Let's go find another cam gear. Going to sightsee touring in the dark. Ooh, it's dark in here. I'm afraid it's ghosts or rats at night. I have crap in my eye. Alright, this is cams. This is idler gears. Ah, which one do you like? This one has a red or white dot on it. How about that one? Teeth look really nice and smooth. Looks pretty nice. Alright. I bought some more junk. Can you tell what I bought? Anybody need some 65 gas tanks? I got junk over here. I can't even walk through there. I have to go back this way. Yeah, I keep buying junk. Look at all this crap I bought. Look at chopper seats. You want the chopper seat? Some people think that was a bait seat there. I think it was just a piece of crap. Yep. Chicken other shit. Well, we're back. Back in the daylight. Alright. Just a second here. Can't put anything out of dirty, we gotta clean it, see? I don't know why I use that one, that's low pressure. That was kind of stupid. I need a high pressure airline. That's up here. There. Much better. That's 90 pounds versus 170 or 50, whatever it's up to right now. Okay, so, does this look familiar? Closer. Okay, this one has a white dot. I don't know what that means. The teeth look really nice. Thing looks almost new. Yeah, the shaft looks really nice. And it's even got a manufacturer's mark on it. Can't get any better than that. That's a very nice looking gear. Let's see if it works. What do you think, 50-50, 60-40? You're 100% know it's going to work. The cover didn't just slide right on. That's not a good sign. Figure out my torque pattern yet? It varies sometimes. Alright, is it going to work? One, two, three, four, last chance. 5, ooh, 6, 7. Oop. Alright, through there, it's a little snug. Not as bad as it's been, but yeah, got loose finally. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think we got a winner. It's moving, but it's got drag on it. Can't move it there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Is it going to work or not work? Now, you think that red spot's going to be in the same spot on the cam? If so, I think the cam's probably the problem, but that gear works. Yes, I never use a zip gun to stick together, I only take it apart. Yeah, look at that. That red spot's in the same spot. So that tells me that gear has something to do with it. Or we just happen to be in the same spot each time. Oh no. Same deal, I don't see anything wrong with the teeth. There's some roughness in there. Right through there. It's very, very minute, but the teeth are worn differently right now. You can feel something. Very, very little difference, but there is a slight difference in that area. So if you lap the gears in, you'll probably be fine, but with that gear there we got, idler gear there, we were good enough. It was. Tooth off. There, line it up better. So if I put the white dot right there in the bad area, it'll be always the same, right? Alright, so thinking that's gonna work the way it is. So I don't think it's worth keep playing with it. It was rotating pretty good there, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's a little bit of both, but this gear is a little bit uneven, and the other gear definitely made a difference. This one tends to be slightly better, so I'm alright with it. I'm going to leave all these out though, I'm not putting them back in. Yeah, I found another one. Well, this one was a good one. That was the only good one in the whole bunch. Where the hell did that come from? So I think I'm going to live with it. I'm not going to keep screwing with that part of it. My work area is getting dirty. Yep. Few screws. Okay, we've got to change out the seal in here. So let's take a big screwdriver and nail it. So I come in from this side here, stick it on the back side right there. Make sure you're up on the steel part of the seal. Give it a whack, and nothing happened. Tore the rubber. That time I was on the steel part. It appears the spring is no longer any good. So the first time it just poked right through. Came right through here. Second time I nailed it where it needed to be nailed on the steel part of it. Knocked it out. Now they make these in rubber and steel back too. This is a steel one obviously. This one's a rubber backed one. So I wipe the hole out, just in case there's any crud in there. I'm going to knock this in. So I'm going to knock it in flush with this one, then I'm going to flip it around and I can go a little bit deeper if I have to this way. So I'm using a punch driver here. I'm going to use a steel hammer. Maybe this thing. piece of sealer material in there. Yeah, don't want that. So that's in there flush now. Go ahead and flip it around. Knock in a little bit deeper over this one. Yeah, I don't really want to go deeper. Get a steel hammer this time. Alright, it's pretty well bottomed out. Okay, so now we got a new seal in there. Take our gasket off over here. That's kind of stuck on there. Try not to tear it. This is real tight around the dowel pinhole. So you got to free it up first, and you rotate back and forth as you're pulling on it. It comes off. If you just yank on it, you'll break it, tear it. All right. Well, this is going to fall out, so just take it out right now. Okay. Gasket goop somewhere. There it is. Use our gasket goop. I think it's a little bit too close, maybe. I'm not sure. There we go. So now I'm going to goop up all the gasket sealing areas, the gasket, and then goop up the cams and stuff, and assembly lube. Time to get messy. It only took 2 hours or something to do this. Should only take about 20 minutes. When does anything ever go easy around here? And this was a running motor. All these parts are in here already. Can't even go by that. Okay. Take my gasket board. Guess why I call it that. So we're going to stick it on the cam cover, or we're going to stick it on the case. Let's stick it on the case. So I'm going to goop up that side first. That way it gets a little tacky. There we go. Now this just want just some smooth, easy coat on it. Told you we're too close. You gotta be quick with this because it tacks up on itself and then it tears. Okay. Stick it over my dowel pin over here. Push it on the dowel pin with your fingers. Make sure it's on there where it belongs. Put the gasket over the holes where they belong. The sealer will hold it in place. Once it gets a little tackiness to it, it'll hold it. There you go. Voila. Good deal, huh? I'll get rid of that. Now we need this stuff. oil pump drive gear we didn't do before. Some of the cam gear. Okay, I like lubricating up the lobe on the cam. Ooh. And then we also put some lubricant on everything else. I like lubing up the gears. Where's the lube at? There it is. Run the gear like that. Up in place. Rotate about where it belongs. Do the next small cam. You always do the small single lobe cam first, because they go in behind the big ones. Okay. Rotate to where it belongs. Then we do a double lobe one. This one here only does the idler gear, but shouldn't be dry either. And then of course we got that one there. I'll get that later. Okay, lubricate all that up. Where our gear mark is. Okay, I think it's about where it belongs. Now we do the hard one. Number 2. It's the hardest one to put in. Okay. Put your marks down here in the bottom where you can see them. Make sure all these are about in the right area. I got one off. So I missed a number 3. See, that mark's low. See, that one's good, that one's good, that one's not, and that one there looks okay. So that one's off. So you got to fix that one. So you have to pull this back up like this. You have to lean it a little bit like that. Rotate the other gear and slide it back in. Find the happy spot in there. Right there. And see, now you got that one's lined up, that one's lined up, that one there is halfway lined up. That camera rotate around a little better. So that one's halfway where it belongs, and this one here is lined up. Now notice how the cranks rotate on us a little bit. So if we rotate this backwards a little bit, like that, you'll see everything lines up a little bit better now. See how those now line up almost close, right on? Gotta rotate it back, see how far that one's back. Got that thing blown up a little, way back there, don't I? There, now you can see better. Okay, now I'm going to put the white tooth gear right there. Even though it doesn't really matter. We're going to do it that way anyway, just for the hell of it. Makes me feel better, right? Okay, I get to lubricate this. Both sides. It doesn't hurt to put a little bit of lube on this because the generator gear gets put in dry. All of this stuff is dry right now, so just put a little bit of something on there, makes a difference. And we're in there. Okay, now I gotta lubricate all the shafts. You don't have those dry either. And don't forget the tack drag gear we left dry. Okay, those are all lubed. Now we go over the cam cover. Do the same thing to it. All the bushing holes lubed. So these might be the end of the... This might be the only lubricant they see for a while, so it doesn't hurt to have some in here. Alright. So now everything's lubed up, either with a gasket goop or with assembly lube. Gasket's where it belongs, so everything's orientated correctly. Check all the holes are lined up on the gasket surface. So all your holes are lined up. That's all good to go. This is all gooped up here now. So this is ready to go together. Now one thing we don't have is we don't have a shift shaft in here, which goes through here also, but that will slip in when we do the training. So I have to do it right now. And I already checked the bushings before, so they're fine. Okay, now we have to make sure this is going to be out of our way, wherever it's going to go to. I'm not sure where this was originally. I think it goes straight up on this bike. Just because that seems to be the way the line's going. See, everything's all lubed up. Pops right on, no problem. I get all the screws. You know where they all go now? Okay, we got two that are the next shortest are these two. Very shortest there. Next shortest is this, and then these other four are all the same. And this takes the longest one if you have an extra one, another length. Go ahead and get them all started. And it shouldn't really matter this time because the gasket's stuck on where it goes, so theoretically you don't have to do it that way, but yeah. I'm used to doing it that way, so why would it be different now, right? Okay, now you want to jiggle around a little bit. If it moves at all, put it in dead center and then torque this one down. Then go hitch this one over here, and this one down here. Draw back to this one centered. As you go up to this one, you got this one over here, this one down here, this one up here, and you hit all of them. As you get on the bottom one here next, torque the piss out of it. That one, that one, that one. Motor fill. Surprised I made it that long. Now I double check just to make sure I got good torque on these. You did that one, I think. Yep. Okay, they're torqued. I got my hammer. Okay, now we make sure the motor turns again without binding. It's going to be a real bitch if it binds up at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, seems to be working pretty good. So we're good. Alright. Now we can move on to something important. Put the rest of the motor together. Okay, so now we need to do our lifter blocks, which we got laying over here. And I need some bolts for those. They look like these. Should be 4 of them. There's 3. 3 is better than none. Got some CAD plated ones. Here it only have 3. 3 and 3. Takes 4 and 4. Got 3 chrome and 3 CAD. So something is going on here. Let's see if there's any hidden in here. Yeah, there's a hidden one. That'd be a plain one. Go in that pile. And one more chrome one. Appear to not have any more chrome ones. Appear to be missing it. My guess is we're missing because it's probably an air cleaner mounting one. But to put the motor together, we need to put something in the hole to torque it down with. So we need at least something in there to hold it down. And these are for the transmission, so I can't use those. Alright. Triple check. No other bolts. Okay. Be back in a second. I'm going to find something to put in the hole. Alright. This will be a temporary bolt. The air cleaner goes on number 3 adjuster there. So that's where we're going to put it. There, get back up, you can see it better. And put the air cleaner in there. We'll just pull out that bolt and put the correct one that goes in there. Usually it's a double-ended stud that goes in there, but appears to be not here right now. Now we need some O-rings. So we got to find some large diameter, small, thin ones. That appears not to be that bad. So large diameter, thin ones look like kind of those ones right there. So I need to get these out of here. And those are going to replace the O-rings that are on these blocks right here. They resemble that one right there. 2 more. And the other one is way over here. Nope, that was not it. Oh, there it is. right in front of me, I'm blind. Blind or stupid or both. Either way. We were failing at doing it. O-ring bag removal, I'm not very good with, I guess. I have to get a helper in here to do that for me. That tends to piss off people who tell them to work like that. Even though it's a very important thing. Okay, we now have 4 O-rings. That's a good sign, because we needed 4 O-rings. Okay, now we got to go ahead and not lose the lifter. We need to get rid of this O-ring right here. Prefer without cutting myself. Now these are still pretty good, so we can reuse them. Oops, appears to have a cut in it. I guess we can't have to throw it away now. There's really nothing wrong with these, but yeah, we got new ones. You gotta make sure you don't cut yourself doing this, poking yourself. Of course, I've never done that using my knife, right? That one's actually a little hard. That one might have been bad. That was a little harder too. It was stuck in there too. Okay, so we got 4 not so good O-rings. Clean up my table. I might need that someday. Okay, now I'm going to take the new O-ring. Slip it over the fork part of the deal. Slide it down. Drop it in. And I take my thumbnail and just run it around. Once on the top or bottom, once on the top. And that will help take any twist out that you put on the O-ring. If the O-ring has a twist in it like that, it won't seal. It will leak. So all you gotta do is just do this and they will self-unwind. That's all it takes. It only takes a minute to do it, so even though you're rolling them down, you think they're pretty even, but maybe not. So you gotta do something with your darn thumbnails. Otherwise they get too long if you don't wear them out. Alright. That is done. Now for the fun part, getting oily. So I'll lubricate the inside of the lifter block. Don't twist too hard because it cuts you on the backside. Get it from both sides. Squish, squish. So it's 100% lubed in there now. See? Very important to get these lubricated because they're very highly loaded. And they will tear them up if they run dry when you first start the bike up. And then they get all kinds of marks like this on them. See, they all torn up. Doesn't take long to do that either. These were brand new lifters. It doesn't take long for them to turn to crap. Oh, appears we had a push rod O-ring in that hole. I think we'll put a new one in there. There's another used one right there. Yeah, we'll get it out in a minute. Be careful when you rotate that because there's sharp edges in there. Didn't get the first one out. And one more. Get you. Okay, all the O-rings are out now. Okay, those are all lubed up. Leave my finger dirty. Now you're going to take the rollers here. You want to make sure these are not getting any play in them. Up and down. Side to side okay. Up and down bad. Turn nice and free. No bind. If it binds anywhere, a little tight spot, they're junk. They're either full of crap or they're coming apart. So they have to work freely. So you take your lube and stick them on here like this. Kind of rotate them like that. You try to work the lube into the rollers. There's needle bearings inside of the big roller. You got to get some kind of lubricant in there. So you do it like that. Lay it over here and go get the next one. So if they sound like they're still dry, you're not getting enough in there. That's how I stack them upside down so I don't get my workbench all full of oil. Less cleanup. Of course, I'm doing a good job of getting my fingers pretty gooey. But these ones are still dry that work this. This one I'm saving for later applications. I'm always thinking ahead what I'm doing, so I try not to get too dirty. Less cleanup. Alright, so those are all good. Okay, so now I got these two fingers are dirty, this one's dirty, and that one's kind of dirty. Pretty good, huh? Okay, now these I'm going to wipe off. Okay, we'll take our lifter block. Take my finger, go like this, rotate in there like that, shove it in, make sure it works freely. It does. Then you take a little bit of oil that's on your finger here and you lubricate that O-ring too. That way it'll slip in easier. Just line it up. Get the hole lined up. Push it down a little more. You gotta put the bolt in there. Get the bolt to start. There you go. Move on to the next one because my fingers are getting dirty. Okay. Now we do the same thing on the next one. Go like that. See how it lubricates the lifter. Nice and free. Lubricate the O-ring. Slip her in the hole. Be careful on getting the lifter or the screws in there. Just got to get the start. Okay. See, that's a repetitive process here. So your final check of the lifter, if there's any issue with it, you want to find out about it now. It slips right on down. Now these don't need no lock washers under them. It's metal on metal, so. Okay. Last one. Tight. Hands off. There you go. I don't need oil on my fingers. That way it doesn't get on my tools. Nothing worse than oily tools. Probably greasy, oily tools. How about that? It's worse, I guess. Okay. Take my quarter drive ratchet. Get the bolt to start. Now don't go forcing the lifter block down this way, just get the bolt started. If you just pull on the lifter block right here on the side, what's going to happen is you're going to bend the block over and snap it off. So you don't want to be doing that. What you want to do is take a big socket, put it on the outside, and tap it down. There's a 3/4. Go to a 13/16. Looks like works good. Tap it down. You've already got the bolt started, so the tap block will self-center over the bolt as it goes down. See how that one just stopped all of a sudden? That's because that lifter moved on us. See how the lifter stayed straight? I didn't check the lifter, I should have. So I got to come underneath here and pry up a little bit. Put the lifter in where it belongs. Then tap it down. See, I'm not doing my job right, so you gotta make sure it's in there correctly. But when I screw up, I show you how to fix it and why it does it, so now you don't do it that way. I usually don't plan that, it just works out that way. Okay, now that all the bolts are in, now I can go and tighten the bolts all the way down. This one you'll probably be pulling back out. The other three we're not. Okay, now take a wrench and put a little torque on it. Pull back a little bit. Get the final grunt. And this one is torqued halfway, because I want to be going back into it like I said. Okay, now the lifters should move up and down freely. They should drop down also, hopefully. So you make sure they go up and down. They should automatically drop by themselves, see? See how they drop? That means they're not binding. Then you go ahead and turn the motor over, because this loads all the way up obviously. Push them down, make sure there's no binding as you're going around. Everything appears to be working correctly. Back that up a little bit. So all is good. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to unadjust these lifters. When we put the top end on there, we can readjust the valve. Put the top end on without fighting the lifters too much. So what we need to do is get our, it's a 1/2 inch and 7/16. So you don't want to just screw in the 7/16 and try to loosen it. You want to get the 1/2 inch on there and move them both together. So you got both wrenches working at one time, it works a lot easier. So, blow this up a little bit so you can see better. Same when you tighten up push rods, you always tighten them up as pairs. Like these here, you would tighten them up together. You push them both this way together. See how they don't want to move? I'm pushing both at once. And you unscrew them both together. So you got more leverage that way. If I just try to muscle that 7/16 nut, you round that sucker off every time. You want to make sure they're good and tight, but you want to be able to get them. You don't want to be screwing up parts doing it. Now, these things are really tight. Oh. You want to very good quality lifter. Yeah, there's one that goes. Yeah, that went down slightly. Bottomed out. Last one. Not much adjustment on these. That tells you the valves are sunk in the heads pretty far, or the push rods are too long. Okay, so now I got this all ready that we can put the top end up on here and do that. I'll change out the piston rings so I can still work on that. But before I put the top end on it, I want to put the transmission over here. Get this in here and make sure all that works. I might have to do something to the cam cover here, which I shouldn't have to, but I might double check. Basically, if the shift shaft goes in a hole and rotates freely, we're golden. If not, I got to dick with it. And once I get the transmission set up, then we'll put the top end on it. Then it can go on the bike. We're going to do that tomorrow. So, for today, we're going to cut it off right there. Always like putting it down at the bottom of the center and then put a towel over it. That way any dust in the air doesn't settle into the motor, or if you don't come back for a week or a year, the motor will still have clean. It won't be full of dirt in the inside of it. So anyway, that's where we're at for now. So it's starting to look like a motor, but we'll continue with it tomorrow. I was hoping to get it done today, but oh well, didn't happen that way. All right, see you tomorrow.